Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. Today, we're at the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness Black on Black. Now this is actually the second Black on Black Wilderness Forester that we've had. I really like the Black on Black. The cladding doesn't show up quite as much, but it still shows up. It looks really, really good in my opinion. Of course, as I'm sure most of you know, the Wilderness model is a new trim level for the 2022 Forester. Redesigned front end, and of course, get a little bit more lift. You get half an inch more ground clearance than the 8.7 that you find in the regular Forester. And I'll just show you what I mean by the black. It's still contrast, still shows, but not as much. So I've got a white one right here. Unfortunately, I can't put them side by side, but this white one kind of looks like a Panda. It's less of a white vehicle, more of a black and white vehicle. This is black on black. I like it. It's subtle, but you can still see it. So big difference right off the front. We have off-road / parking camera. We've got the Gatling gun style 6 LED fog lights on both sides. And of course the bumper has more black cladding. Now that's something that Subaru's added a whole bunch of to the Wilderness models. And they put it in areas that are normally gonna get rock chipped, beat up. It's smart in my opinion. I know some people aren't a huge fan of the cladding, but more aggressive cladding around the wheel arches for the Wilderness. More ground clearance. You get the exclusive 17-inch blacked out Wilderness wheels, and you've got Geolander ATs from Yokohama wrapping that. So they are an all-terrain tire. They are snowflake rated. You get the Subaru Wilderness badge. And this one is going to be going tomorrow early home with its new owner. So it's not clean yet, but I'm not going to have a chance to do it tomorrow before it leaves. So, and I didn't want you to miss out on this, seeing this. You've got Forester in the copper. Up top, you've got the copper accenting on the tie downs. So versus the traditional Forester, which would only have the front and rear, you also have the middle one here. And they opted to put the Thule extended crossbars on it so they can hold more weight. And it's a little bit wider, so it's easier to fit multiple items on it, which, you know, if you're putting a rooftop tent, multiple kayaks, that's really nice. At the back here, and this is something, we just recently got the Forester hitches in because they've been forever. They've been on back order, they weren't available, but they're here. So a little bit of a cutout on the rear bumper. It's a 2-inch receiver. The Forester Wilderness has a max tow capacity of 3,000 pounds. That's more than double, or actually it is double. It's exactly double what the regular Forester's max towing capacity is. You've got your 4-pin wiring just up there, tucked up. But yeah, you have to notch out the rear bumper a little. And actually, I'm gonna take a walk over to this white one here to show you the rear bumper difference. So it's very minor trim. So, and the reason that they've done that is so that you don't lose as much departure angle, because they expect you're going to take this off-road, and departure angle is important. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's pretty sharp. Underneath the Wilderness, you can see rear differential skid plate. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it is there. Skid plate up front. Backup sensors in the rear bumper. That's what those little black circles are. They'll actually apply the brakes if you think you're going to hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. We have a bumper step pad. Protect the bumper if you're loading or unloading things, stop you from marking it up. This is probably one of the best accessories you can get if you're loading pets in the back or you're loading stuff in and out all the time. The badging is blacked out. This piece between the taillights is same texture as the cladding around the wheel arches. Same thing up here. I think it looks very, very sharp. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a power liftgate from the door, the driver's seat, or the key fob. Tons of space in here. Now, this customer's opted to add the cargo divider. Now, this is not a pet divider or pet barrier. I just want to be clear about that, because you've got a hole there and a hole there. So it's for cargo only, and this piece curves back. So, I mean, it says right here, the space above is designed to allow for proper side curtain airbag deployment. Don't block that area. So there is a reason that there's that gap, but we had someone buy one of these on a 2020 Forester with the expectation that they'd be able to use it to keep their dog in the back. That's a lot of room to fit a dog through. If a dog's determined, anything's determined, it's gonna get through there. But yeah, this is nice and solid. ties in where your privacy cover would normally go, so you do lose access to the privacy cover or the use of the privacy cover with this. So just so you are aware, this is actually the first one that we've had on a new Forester 22. So I just wanted to point this out because this is pretty cool. In the back, we've got grocery bag hooks on either side, 12-volt outlet for any charging needs, cargo tray from factory. Underneath here, privacy cover stores, full-size spare tire on a matching alloy wheel. I do recommend doing 5 tire rotations with these Wilderness models because you want them to all have even tire wear. Now, if you need to fold the seats flat, pull that, that'll release. That releases. The seat belts are done up there, so they're holding them, but I'll show you what it looks like. Do also have the LED cargo light, so it is set to door now. Yeah, that will shut off after we close the rear hatch. And then the ability to close it via power, close and lock, or you can pull down manually. Or you can do it from, of course, the driver's seat or from the key fob. Now, in the second row, I'm gonna show you these seats fold down. Now, the back of these seats, it's kind of rubberized. It's kind of like the StarTech seating material, but it's a little bit different. But it's tougher than cloth. Dog hair's not going to worm its way in. It's excellent. So it's similar to the cargo tray material, but not quite. And the way you can tell that your seat's actually locked, that red piece is up if it's not locked. Push in, goes down. There we go. Fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. And then this is the StarTech. So it's a similar material to the back of the seats. This is just a little bit more plush. The pattern's nicer. These seats are so comfortable. I love the material. Easy to clean, non-perforated. Lots of headroom in the Forester. On the center here, vents, USB ports for charging. We do have Wilderness floor mats. That comes with the Wilderness from factory. No extra charge for those. Now, being a proximity key, if you just walk up, touch the lines, and you have the key on you, of course, the door locks. Wait a second, put your hand in, and it unlocks. Really, really easy to use. The proximity key is probably one of the best inventions for cars. I absolutely love it. Power windows, locks, mirrors, as you'd expect. Power driver's seat, including lumbar support. And these seats are super supportive. You've got some bolstering. It's not super hard. It's quite soft, quite comfortable. I'm a larger guy. I fit comfortably in it, but your mileage may vary depending what your level of comfort is. Wilderness embossed on both the front driver and passenger headrests, and that seat's pretty straight up and down right now. On the inside, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. You can turn off the steering responsive headlights if you don't like it. So these headlights do swivel when you turn. You can set the memory tailgate height so the rear hatch only opens X amount. Brightness scroll wheel for the gauges. Traction control. Auto start, stop. And then you've got your blind spot detection. So it'll actually illuminate the 2 little screens. One there, one there. Whenever you have someone in your blind spot on the corresponding side. So that's what those orange lights are. Turn that volume down. Steering wheel, really, really nice. I get a lot of comments that the Forester steering wheels seem very, very small. And I actually get that comment about almost every single Subaru, is that it feels like a very, very small car steering wheel. It lends itself well to maneuvering the vehicle really, really easily, really well. Copper accent, copper stitching. Copper's kind of that accent color in all the Wildernesses. I think it looks great. Up top, we've got special Wilderness gauges. They're outlined in copper. You've got Wilderness on the top left. You can change the center screen, gives you a bunch of different info. I personally like the digital speedometer. On the left-hand side here, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. The right-hand side has our adaptive cruise, so the cruise that follows at a set distance behind the vehicle ahead of you. So turn that on, you get that screen, 4 bars all the way down to 1. That screen, kind of hard to see. I don't know if it'll let me actually. The glare on it, there we go. If it detects a vehicle, it'll show a vehicle ahead of the Forester there as well. Lane centering works above 60, helps keep you between the lines, so long as the 2 color stereo eyesight cameras can actually see the road lines. And they've actually changed the eyesight system. This is eyesight 4.0, the most up-to-date eyesight. Wider field of view, better reaction. It's a better system overall. 2 different drive modes in the Wilderness. You've got intelligent for everyday and then sport sharp. So it changes your torque curve, and it's much, much more aggressive. You'll accelerate faster, your RPMs will sit higher, you'll use a little bit more fuel, but your driving's definitely a bit more spirited. Heated steering wheel, you can see that orange light, that means it's on. I'm gonna turn it off because I definitely don't need it today. In the sun, it's pretty cooking. I mean, the thermometer up there says that it's 21 degrees, but in the sun, it's definitely colder. And that screen, the camera's gonna focus on it because it's dark. There we go. Gives you a bunch of different info. You can change the screens. I personally like to look at the water temp, oil temp one. That's my favorite. It's where our climate control displays, and it is dual zone climate. Oh, it keeps fading out. Sorry, guys. Doesn't really want to focus on that. I do apologize. It is dual zone, and it ranges from 15 to 30, and you've got driver side temp, passenger side temp. As soon as you have a different passenger temp, the sync light goes out. If your passenger gets out, you only need one temperature. You don't have to fiddle with their side, you just hit sync and it goes back to the driver controlled. And I'm putting that as cold as it can go right now because it's warm in the sun. 8-inch radio display, tall touchscreen, or we have the physical buttons down here, but you have access to the My Subaru app, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay for connectivity. It's our backup camera when you put it in reverse. Rear assist braking, parking sensors. It's really hard to see, but it does show you the top of the bumper there. In the shade, a black vehicle bumper doesn't really show up on the camera. It's also where our front, above that is where our front view camera pops up. So that's where that pops up. I wish that the front view camera was on the radio screen as well, but I understand why they separated it. We still offer a CD player, which is very, very highly sought after by the majority of our clients. They like that. Almost everyone I know has some CDs left. Climate controls, of course. Down below here, we've got the 2 USB ports for charging using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, listening to music, aux cord for music, 12-volt outlet for any charging needs. I know I caught that in the last camera angle. Subaru Wilderness floor mats. Only the front gets the orange, but I think they look pretty sharp. That design on the front is very similar to the design on the rears. You get the automatic transmission, manual mode if you want it, and you can use the paddle upshift or downshift to select your own gears. Parking brakes are electronic, heated seats high and low for both the driver and the passenger. You can turn on the camera there, or if you back up, if I put it in reverse, make sure there's nothing behind me on either side. If I actually back up a little bit, and then I pull forward, front camera automatically comes on because it's thinking that you weren't just paying attention to the camera, you're using your mirrors, shoulder checking. It wants to show that nothing has fallen in front of you. And that will turn off automatically once you reach speeds of about 8 kilometers an hour. Dual function X mode. So this is kind of like Subaru's equivalent to 4x4 low in a pickup. It's for the really rough stuff, under 40K an hour, locks the all-wheel drive power 50-50, changes your throttle response or transmission ratios. Twist to the left, you got snow and mud mode. Twist to the right, deep snow and mud, and it turns off traction control when you do that, so it allows excess wheel spin to chew you out of that gross situation. Something I didn't mention earlier, this steering wheel, tilt, as well as telescopic. So it is perfect for people of varying heights and seating positions. My favorite feature ever in any vehicle ever, auto dimming rear view mirror. There's no switch to flick for it to dim. It just automatically dims as soon as someone has their high beams on behind you. Best thing ever. My favorite thing ever. I drive a car right now, and I would kill for that because I hate being blinded. We're in truck country here. There are 3 buttons there. You can hook that up to your garage door, or 3 separate garage doors so you don't have to carry a bulky opener with you. It is the panoramic sunroof. You can even open it with the crossbars. I know some manufacturers won't allow you to open the sunroof with crossbars. They interfere. And up top here, we have SOS and concierge service. That's part of the 3-year trial of the connected services that you get with most new Subarus. Pretty cool setup. And then lane sway, automatic emergency braking, your sunroof control. That automatic emergency braking here in BC actually saves you 10% on your basic insurance, so that's pretty cool. So that's a brief overview of the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness black on black. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. If you have any questions about the Wilderness or any other Subaru in our lineup or any of the features, functions, anything like that, please put it in the comments. I do try to get back to all of the questions, all the comments. If there's something that you guys want to see me do a video on, a how-to or something, let me know. I love to create content for you guys. I'm more than happy to do that. So enjoy this video. Hopefully you find some value in it or value in some of my other videos. I'll see you guys soon.